relieved really to have the 2 points, but Monaghan deserves something out of the game, and we had to really dig deep to win, and certainly Monaghan will put it up to Kerry in the next match.
Well, no doubt Monaghan were up for the challenge this afternoon, but that was a good response to the challenge by the Mayo men. Tony Davis at half-time. Too many Mayo people wouldn't have thought they were going to take the points out of Castlebar.
No, they were shocking in the first half. In fact, they got a goal into injury time in the first half, and that kind of kept them in it, so they came back in the second half. Monaghan got 3 or 4 quick points, and it was then Aidan O'Shea got the goal, but up to that Monaghan were dominating the whole first half. In fact, Mayo looked terrible actually after their fantastic win last week against Kerry. They were laboured, their build-up play was terrible, and Monaghan from the first half display would have deserved to win the game handily, but Monaghan didn't get the goals. They didn't even look like scoring goals, but I think Mayo can count themselves lucky.
Yeah, I would imagine people down in Mayo are fed up hearing people talking about the two sides to them, but then they emphasise it again themselves with some of their performances. Yeah,
well, I think today there was definitely two sides to their play. I thought in general their build-up play was too laboured, very slow. The pitch didn't help it. The pitch is a kind of a bog actually. When they were doing up the whole place, they should have put a sand-based pitch on it. Would help the type of players they have. But this kind of play is, Aidan O'Shea in full forward, he must win those balls. If he's going to be in the same thing as Donaghy and those boys in full forward, it's too handy to get balls. He must win them. The ball must cling to his hand. This is the other side in the second half where he could be positive and use them. Good ball in, wins the ball very aggressively and gets it over the bar. In the Varley, good player, a very, very good player, and a good find for them. The one worry I'd have about them today as well, Keith Higgins got injured and went off, right? But a good win for Mayo, puts them up there in the top of the league. For Monaghan, heartbreaking for them. It's been a hard league for them, really. Got beaten by Cork by a point, but in general, I suppose they'll be happy to the points they're on at the moment.
But John O'Mahony acknowledged there that they deserve something out of the match, and they did play some good football today. Yeah,
they did. In the first half in particular, I thought the first 10 minutes of the game they wiped Mayo out in midfield. Dick Clerkin was winning fantastic ball, playing it around, picking out things. Paul Finlay was kicking frees for fun. He got 8 points in the game, 6 from frees. Conor McManus, this young guy they have inside in the corner, he's some player now, and he's a guy we'll be looking forward to seeing in the championship. See, he skins his man here, looked very balanced and nice on the outside of his right foot, just clips it over the bar. Again, may all be worried about how easily the full back line was got there. Here we are again. Unfortunately, Donald Vaughan got a goal, and the point was ball watching a bit there. The ball goes back out to Conor, nice and comfortably over the bar. But I suppose, as I said earlier, really, they didn't create goal opportunities at all in the game. This is the only chance they created, and it wasn't really a clear-cut chance. In it goes, Clark comes out and clears the ball. Do you know, to win the game, you need to get goals, really.
Yeah.
They scored 15 points, 8 from frees. They'd want to be getting more than that.
All right, Tony, thanks for that for the moment. Next here on Sunday Sport, we're going to head back to last night and 2 other games in Division 1. Now, in a while, the meeting of Dublin and Galway at Parnell Park. But first, though, we're going to head to Omagh for the game between Tyrone and Kerry. Here's Eamon Donoghue.
While neither side will define their season by league placing, relegation is out of the question. And with slightly more at stake, Tyrone made the brighter start, racing into a 6 points to 3 lead. The ever impressive Sean Kavanagh firing 2 points from play. This was Kavanagh's first start of the season, and as evidenced by this, Tyrone had clearly missed their talisman. Kerry needed a moment of inspiration and got it when goalkeeper Brendan Keeley saved from Kavanagh, and it set the Kingdom up to close the half stronger, with 4 unanswered points coming from Colin Cooper, David Moran, Barry John Walsh and Kieran Donaghy, leaving the Kingdom leading at the break by 7 points to 6. 3 minutes into the second half and Tyrone were reduced to 14 men when Cathal McCarran picked up a second yellow card for pulling back Cooper. And Kerry showed their class by making that numerical advantage count when Declan O'Sullivan found the net within minutes of that dismissal, following an incisive forward run. Credit to Tyrone, who kept in touch from placed balls, but the All-Ireland champions always look to have enough in reserve, as witnessed by this Darren O'Sullivan point. And Kerry were themselves reduced to 14 men when Aidan O'Mahony received a straight red after a tangle with Kieran Gormley. And his absence would prove telling. 4 minutes into injury time and with Kerry up by 2, an opportunist finish by Colm Kavanagh saw Tyrone steal the points on a 111-110 final score.
Dublin came into last night's game at Parnell Park looking to reverse last week's defeat to Cork, and manager Pat Gilroy made 4 changes to that side. Galway made a late change with the former All-Star Kieran Fitzgerald coming into fullback in place of David Riley. And it was the Dubs who started the better and scored the first 3 points of the game. 2 of those coming from the boot of their centre forward, Bernard Brogan. Dublin extended that advantage to 5 points to 1 with Brogan kicking 2 more frees before Galway got into gear. They scored 1-7 without reply, including this goal from Fikra Brannock. Galway finished the half strongly and by the end of the opening 35 led by 5 points, aided by this point from distance from Gareth Bradshaw. Dublin though upped their performance in the second half, and the inspirational Brogan was central to their recovery. This point reduced the margin to just a single point. Cian O'Sullivan then showed inspirational form to run half the length of the field to score this point to tie up the game. Galway were then reduced to 14 men when Declan Meehan got a second yellow and then a red for an off-the-ball incident with Paul Flynn, who also got himself a yellow card. But Galway refused to buckle and edged 4 points ahead in the latter stages of this game. This point from Owen Kilcannon, putting his side 4 up. It was his 8th of the night. Dublin scored the final point of the contest through Bernard Brogan's free, and with just a couple of minutes remaining, the tie was down to 3 points. But that was the end of the scoring, as Galway held on to beat Dublin for the second season running in the league to dent the Dubs' chances of making the Division 1 final. It finished at Parnell Park. Galway won 14, Dublin 14 points.
John Kenny and Eamon Donoghue reporting there. Tony Davis, the last 2 games that Galway have played, they've won them, but more importantly, they've actually played well in them.
Played very well. Great win for them again. They're on 6 points and safe now, so they don't have to worry about relegation anymore. And I suppose from somebody like me looking in on it, Sean Armstrong and Michael Meehan were missing, and yet they got those scores. They look quite comfortable. But for Dublin, it's a small bit worrying for them. They can still qualify.
Yeah.
But I suppose they nearly must go to the next level now. We've seen what they're like. They work hard, they get behind the ball, but they have the players to come back, like you have the 2 Brogans and Conor Keeney and players like that who will finish the ball for them. But they need to get up to the next level. They have to get the ball earlier into them.
Let's go back to the other match that we saw a little bit earlier on there. We have a Kerry man working on the crew here on Sunday Sport. You were asking him what he thought about last night. He didn't think much.
No. Very good win for Tyrone. Very exciting game. In last minute of extra time, as you know, the ball into the square and Colm Kavanagh put it in the back of the net. Kerry find it hard to beat Tyrone, and in fairness to Tyrone, they didn't give up yesterday, even though things were against them, were well down. But Kerry actually asked for it, actually. They went back into the defence, asked them on it. Now, both Monaghan, Tyrone and Kerry are in danger of relegation at this stage. Like, Tyrone play Dublin in Omagh and Kerry play Monaghan next in 2 weeks' time in Killarney, I presume. So, like, that'll determine who goes down. So, again, good win for Tyrone. Kerry, I thought would Kerry so far ahead that they would have won the game and held on, but they didn't.
OK, now a check on all of the scorelines from this weekend's matches in the Alliance National Football League. In Division 1, those victories for Galway and Tyrone from last night, Cork getting the win against Derry, and that win in Castlebar for Mayo. And then, Tony, this is the Division 1 table as it stands this evening.
Yeah, from my reckoning anyway, Cork have qualified now, and next weekend if Mayo beat Cork, they qualify. If Cork beat Mayo and Dublin beat Tyrone, then Dublin qualify by the mere fact that they have played each other and Dublin have beaten Mayo. On the other end of it, it looks like Derry are gone. The big games, again, we spoke about is the games with Kerry, Monaghan and Tyrone, and that'll determine who goes down with them. OK, on to Division 2 now. Laois beating Kildare last evening, and Donegal with a 5-point win against Meath. And Tipperary lost a player in their game against Armagh and eventually lost the game by 4 points. And differing fortunes for the 2 counties of Mullingar. Down, sealing their place in Division 1. Westmeath's fate sealed in the relegation zone. Now, just to confirm the table this evening in Division 2, Tony. Again, looking at that, Down have qualified, as you said. The winners of Armagh and Donegal will qualify with them. At the other end of the table, it looks like Tipperary and Westmeath are gone down. Yeah, OK. Let's move on to Division 3. Antrim getting the win yesterday against Louth. Cavan 6-point winners over Offaly. And then this afternoon, Sligo getting the better of Fermanagh, while Wexford beat Roscommon. While Antrim head the division, Sligo and Wexford contest second place.
And on to Division 4. Leitrim beat Carlow yesterday and Limerick big winners over Kilkenny. Today, Clare beat Longford and Waterford collected the points against Wicklow. But Clare's win keeps them out in front. Waterford in second place now. Well, right now here on the programme, we're going to take a commercial break. Now, when we come back, we'll be turning our attention to hurling and this afternoon's exciting encounter between Kilkenny and Galway. Join us again for that.